Why, hello there YouTube and welcome to a Who review. I am Davros and I'm a Whovian, and today I am reviewing Doctor Who, The Time Warrior. So this is a serial from 1973 where the Doctor is working with U.N.I.T and is introduced to new companion Sarah Jane Smith, who is a journalist, and then discovers that there's a disappearance of one of the professors of U.N.I.T, Professor Rubish, and he discovers that he's been taken back in time to the Middle Ages, where a Sontaran named Lynx has come to the Middle Ages to get his ship fixed, but needs the mind of 20th century scientists to do so, so snatches them from time to fix his ship. And along the way there, Lynx forms a sort of alliance with the local knights of that castle. And of course, the Doctor can't have that. He can't have paradoxes going around, so the Doctor goes out of his way to stop this. So, let's get on to my likes and dislikes for this one. First of all, the likes. I like Jon Pertwee in this as the Doctor. He just acted fantastically in this, despite him, adjusting to a lot of changes made to the show, because, 1973 took a big toll for Jon Pertwee. First of all, he was spending less time with Nicholas Courtney, who was the Brigadier, because, after the 10th anniversary story, the Free Doctors, the Doctor gets his freedom back from the Time Lords and can travel anywhere he wants in time and space. So he starts to spend less time with his good friend Nick Courtney. Also, Katie Manning in the previous story, The Green Death, called it a day, and she and the Doctor didn't have her. Not to mention the sad tragedy of Roger Delgado, who played the Master and was in real life Jon Pertwee's very good friend, which was sad. So the family just didn't feel as right for him anymore. So, this was probably the beginning of the end for the third Doctor. But still, Jon Pertwee, he, managed to put his feelings and problems to one side and portray the Doctor, which I thought was great of him and very, noble, very professional of him. I also liked Elisabeth Sladen. This was her first ever story where she came into it, and of course, Sarah Jane Smith's gone on to be a well-known companion, even returning in the revived era with David Tennant, and even getting her own spin-off series, The Sarah Jane Adventures. So she's become quite the popular companion, knowing 4 incarnations of the Doctor, 3, 4, 10 and 11. So I liked her. I liked Elisabeth Sladen in this. I also liked the character of Lynx, who was a Sontaran. I can't remember the actor's name who played him, but he later appeared in the serial Planet of the Spiders as the Doctor's mentor Choji, the regenerated version of him. And, he had a short-lived life as well, because he died not long after those 2 serials aired. But yeah, this was the first time we got introduced to the Sontarans as well, yes. And the Sontarans have been reoccurring monsters. I mean, they first appeared in The Time Warrior, then we got to see them again 2 years later in 75 with the Sontaran experiment. Not the same one, but a different one. And then we got to see them again in The Invasion of Time, and then in The Two Doctors, and then in the revived era we've seen them multiple times, like the Sontaran Stratagem and the Poison Sky, and episodes with the Paternoster Gang, of course, Strax. So the Sontarans, again, very popular monsters as well in Doctor Who, because they've returned as well, and they're a cloning race. Also known as the Potato Men, because they had potato-like heads. And of course, the weak spot of the Sontaran is the back of the collar. That's their weak spot, and that's how you see them off. Yeah, I like the performance he put into this. I also like the knights in this, thinking it's sorcery and everything because of how superstitious they were back in the Middle Ages. And I like what they did with this one. It was very interesting because you see, Doctor Who episodes, they seem to do okay in the present and good in the future, but past stories taking place in the past, they never really did much of that during the third Doctor's run, because back then it was a bit risky doing a historical story with time travel, because, you know, risks of them thinking, oh no, people think this happened in history or whatever, you know, and that was a big risk back then. But, you know, they took some risks with this, and we got one in the Middle Ages with elements of the future and the present in there, and I thought that was good. Yeah, this is a 4-part serial too, so there's so yeah, this is a good story. Do I have anything to dislike? Not really. I mean, there were little slow builds there, but like I said, this is a serial. Didn't get to see the Sontaran take his helmet off till the end of part 1, but still, I didn't have to wait a week to watch that, did I? I just watched the next episode straight away. One dislike I do have is when they demolished the castle, when they had an explosion. Now, I think this was because of practical effects and budgeting, but when the castle exploded, it cut to some rocks falling, and then, yeah, that was very poorly done, I think. But again, I think they had to make do with what they got back then. If it was around today, though, they'd have a CGI'd explosion, but, yeah. This also had June Brown in it, who we all know now as Dot Branning or Dot Cotton off EastEnders. That was, I didn't recognise her at first, but then I recognised, going, oh, that's June Brown. You know, so that was interesting, seeing her in something other than EastEnders. And in Doctor Who, there's a lot of EastEnders actors that have appeared in the show, before EastEnders and after EastEnders as well. Okay, so final thoughts and ratings. So I'm going to give Doctor Who, The Time Warrior, yeah, the effects for this, I'll give it a 1, because they weren't brilliant effects, but it were the 70s. The acting in this, I'm going to give a 4, and the story in this, I'm going to give a 3. So, yeah, I think that's fair enough for this. So, yeah, that's what I've got to say about Doctor Who The Time Warrior. So let me know down in the comments below, what do you think to Doctor Who The Time Warrior? Have you seen it? Share all that down in the comments below. If you like this video, be sure to give it a big thumbs up. Don't forget to share with your friends. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel if you haven't already, and to hit that notification bell. All of my social media links are down below in the description. So yeah, I've been Davros the Whovian, and until next time, run for your life.